Israel's not the only state Epstein that this reporting shows Epstein's
There you
talking
go.
to. The Russian angle, again, is a pretty big one. I mean, he's talking to Vexelberg, he's talking to Belyakov, who's a Russian cabinet minister. Um, Epstein is also, we'll get into his connection to Arab states if you care about balance on this. Right, he's talking to British royals, and Epstein, I don't really cover this, but Epstein is also in touch with two different, for a future and past CIA director. I think Leon Panetta, if I'm not wrong. Let me just make sure I'm not defaming Leon Panetta. And this one I know for sure, Bill Burns. So this is not just an Israel story, even
Right.
though the reason we know about this story is because of the hack of an Israeli prime minister.
Right.
Let me just make sure.
Sure.
Yeah, no, it was Panetta who had connection to who's connected to all this stuff.
Wow. There you go. I hope there are no Italian Americans in the chat who get offended by that. Yeah. He's not a pizza bagel, is he? I don't think so.
But yeah, the Arab states,
Yes.
because it's not just Qatar, although that's the new one. That's really
Right.
the
Yeah, give us the pan-Arab view.
yeah. So this is from the House Oversight email. Well, so from the Barrack Epstein emails, we know that he was talking to the Emirates, and we also know about this connection from other sort of like his calendar. Wall Street Journal got his calendars and stuff. So this is sort of being fleshed out. But what's new is that from the House Oversight Committee emails is that Epstein was meeting with the Prime Minister of Qatar at least once, because he apologized to some mysterious Qatari figure named Jabor, saying, sorry to cancel the scheduled meeting. I'll tell you when I'm next in Qatar. And he also has an email to himself, like a memo that said names for Steve Bannon or something. And this Qatari prime minister, I think it's Hamid bin Jassim ibn Jabor Athani. Although you know how Arab royals always have like 10 names. They're all variations. So
Right.
actually got him. We had to issue a correction because I got him confused with a different Qatari royal. But we didn't have to change the title because they're both princes.
Right.
That is, it's very unclear what kind of business Epstein was doing with Qatar or why, but I mean, he's meeting with a former prime minister, so this is a high level thing. There's another one. We don't know what country this person was from, but someone's asking favors on behalf of Kuwait. And then Epstein basically says that you should get in touch with. He had just been hanging out with Ronald Lauder, the heir to Estee Lauder. You should get in touch with him, which is like, also that's a new one. Like, what the fuck? Like the Estee, but it turns out, actually I looked into it, and Ronald Lauder, he's president of the World Jewish Congress, and he's been involved in a lot of back channel diplomacy, both in the 90s and now between Israel and Syria. So I think Lauder was clearly, Epstein clearly wanted to sort of bring in Kuwait into this back channel. But also just, this is completely new and we have no other details about it other than these few emails. Epstein, this is also known, Epstein was close with Tom Barrack. So not Ehud Barak, Tom Barrack.
Lebanese.
Kind of confusing. Yes, Lebanese. So Tom Barrack, I guess we should say E Barak and T Barak.
Sure, yeah. Or Tom. We could see Ehud and Tom. It's up to you, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So Tom is...
And Tom is the one who, like, yelled at people at a press conference, like, told them...
he called them animals.
Like animals, yeah.
Yes. So, yeah, so Tom, he was a real estate guy who was tight with Trump for a long time. During the first Trump administration, he got actually in trouble for some kind of Qatari... I think he got acquitted... So I shouldn't say I don't want to be defamatory, but he was clearly had a relationship with the Emirates that was a little bit too tight for comfort, and the Justice Department went after him. They didn't end up convicting him of a crime. But now in the second Trump administration, he's actually in government as not just as sort of a fundraiser and advisor to Trump, but as Trump's officially as ambassador to Turkey and special envoy to Syria, but as sort of general viceroy of the Eastern Mediterranean.
Right.
And that was the context in which Barack was in Lebanon, and he was getting he got flustered at a press conference and said, stop being so animalistic, which caused a little bit of, obviously offended the
Yeah.
Lebanese press corps.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was tight with Trump. It was known that Trump introduced him to the Russian ambassador during, I think, 2017, which is like sort of odd that this was, sorry, Epstein introduced Barrack to the Russian ambassador, which is and also Teal. And now in these new House emails, you have Epstein actually trying to get Teal to meet with Barrack and sort of bringing them together. And also Sultan bin Sulayem, the Emirati businessman slash sort of operator we mentioned. Epstein also, he tells Epstein, I got an invitation from Tom Barrack to come to inauguration. Epstein's like, call me on the phone. It's a problem with a lot of these Epstein documents is so much of it is like references to meetings that happened in real life. So you don't really know. And this is sort of why we're probably not going to get like the smoking gun bombshell of what Epstein was, because so much of the stuff was not put in writing. So much of the writing was only arranging meetings to discuss this
Right.
stuff. And then there was one more thing with Epstein and Barack. Oh yes, so they're just making small talk, and then Epstein says to Barack, "Send me a photo of you with child, make me smile," which I think is probably just a reference, like send me a picture of you with your family. But that is a very unsettling
Yeah. You never want to hear
message
that.
to,
Yeah.
yeah,
From
from a
yeah.
child molester.
Yeah.
Like,
Exactly. Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, it's a just a really weird, wide range of things. And then there's one, I'm probably the only person who wrote about the Arab connections, but this other email that got leaked. So he's talking to Kathy Rumler, who is former Obama administration official, and she apparently Epstein like reached out to her to like put him in touch with Bill Gates or something, or possibly the Rothschild Bank. But anyways, like Epstein had basically they'd be started a conversation because Epstein was trying to get her to be a lawyer for people he was in touch with. And then they're just making small talk, and she says something like, "Girls don't have to deal with this crap," and Epstein says, "Girls, careful, I will renew an old habit," which is really like, it's like he was like paying teenagers to molest them, and all these people are basically treating it as a punchline or letting him treat it as a punchline both before and after he was arrested. He goes on to list all of the people he was meeting during UN week. So it was Peter Thiel, Larry Summers, um, Bill Burns, the future CIA director, Gordon Brown, who's the former British Prime Minister, uh, Jagland, I forgot how to pronounce his first name, some long Scandinavian or weird Scandinavian name, but he was a former president of Norway who's also leading the Council of Europe. According to different emails, Epstein told Jagland, like, oh yeah, I told the Russians how to deal with Trump.
Wow.
Uh, the president of Mongolia, Dropsite had a very excellent thing about Epstein helping the Mongolian president get in touch with Barack for some, Israeli Mongolian deal. Hardeep Puri, who's an Indian minister, Boris, who's Bill Gates' science official, this mysterious guy named Jabber from Qatar, Sultan bin Sulayem of Dubai, Koslin, who's a researcher at Harvard, Leon Black, who's a banker in America, Woody Allen, who's the sort of actor and also, yeah. So,
Director, writer,
I mean, this is a sort of
musician.
yeah, this is the sort of thing that Epstein was doing, right? He was a sort of, I think Martez at Dropsite described him as like a super networker or
Right.
something for the elites. I mean, so I think this is the other reason why I sort of push back on the idea that Epstein was necessarily a paid agent of one state. It seemed like he was really a fixer between different states and a little bit of a mercenary. And I mean, this is not to discount. Maybe we will get the smoking gun paper, after this Justice Department thing that Epstein was like totally on the payroll of this intelligence service or that one. But it seems from what we have so far that he was really running a lot of different deals with a lot of different state actors, which is, I think, part of the reason why a lot of people don't want the Epstein files to come out.
Right.
And right, the $1 million question is like, were the sex crimes part of the influence trading or not? Right? Was this part of the leverage that Epstein was trading. And I think a lot of people talk with certainty, like a lot of people expect logically, yes, obviously, but it's we haven't really gotten any like example of that yet. So I think that's why it's worth continuing to dig, whether the answer is yes or no.
Right. So what do you think is the most explosive thing that you've discovered so far?